Well, motherfucker, don't know if they gonna live or die when they wake up and go to work, man. I think it's sad that them politicians they trying to justify the shit that them folk doing in Chicago, man. You know, you got all them individuals, them children, man. A lot of them folks don't lost their life down there. Them folks are children. They children. Children killing children is what's going on in Chicago, man. You know, I tell people, man, if you ain't watching the news, you ain't seeing that the world got a tool and it's called internet. And with that tool, them folks are screaming out for help. In a lot of these cities where a lot of crime is happening, where people losing their lives, people losing their mamas, their dad, their brothers to senseless violence on the streets. Them the same people that a long time ago they used to have to put marches and things like that together to protest but you got people out here in the streets that's literally out here protesting when people talk about they want to make people safe. I don't understand when the world became to the point where you say it's such when you push out people that want to save their communities. It's crazy that them folk would say that the National Guard Army is not meant to protect everyday citizens when you read the Constitution explains that the Army is built to protect American citizens against foreign and domestic terrorists. And folks on did is they on said that gang members, cartel leaders, cartel members are domestic terrorists. That's just what they say. And if you don't watch the news, you'll miss out on a lot of things, man. Like I was watching and they was talking about the most violent cities in America, the highest crime rates in America, and Chicago was on that list. Memphis was on that list. Asheville was number 8. But these people want y'all to come to these cities not knowing that the violence is going on in these cities. When you're trying to go to a city and have a vacation, you know, you wonder tickets are so cheap out of Airbnb look so nice. It's because it's in a neighborhood where it's crime at. And I sit back and I tell people every day, man, it's crazy that when you set your yard, you gotta be dangerous. You gotta be to the point where if someone get too close, you gotta put that bag. If someone poses a threat to you, you gotta be the one to put that motherfucker in the bag before they put you in one, man. It's crazy. Everybody on the internet worried about the things, but when they don't understand is y'all folk about to start seeing armed soldiers walking around in y'all streets in y'all neighborhoods. Walking around in y'all projects, walking around in y'all trap spots, walking around in y'all downtowns, and them folk gonna have weapons on their shoulder like they're in a third world country. I never thought that living in America that it would ever boil down to where you would have to bring out army soldiers, people that are trained to go over in other countries and go to war to protect America would have to be sent into the streets to protect citizens from other Americans. But we don't got to that point. And a lot of people want to say it's the undocumented people, this and undocumented that. It's not just them, man. A lot of these motherfucking so-called, what you would call domestic terrorists, gang members, these motherfuckers were born in America. Most of mom and daddy was born in America. It just don't get to the point where a lot of these children don't believe shit stink, man. They don't believe there ain't no consequences to their situations because these folks don't came up with every kind of justification to help the criminal and forget about the victim. It's a lot of people out here in the world that lose their life or be carjacked, and then these folks got what they call bail reform, where people gather money up and go make bond for a motherfucker that just killed somebody or carjacked somebody's grandmama, and then that same person go out there and do the same thing. So y'all folks just pitched in money to help somebody get out, and a lot of people don't understand every charity is not meant for everybody, because you don't know where your money going, man. You know, I watch people give money to charities and organizations all day, every day, and they don't know where their money going. But the person that you giving the money to, driving a nice car, living in a nice home. So I'm figuring them folks pocketing their money. You feel me? Because ain't nobody running a charity organization for free. You know, because just when you got charity organizations, you got CEOs, CFOs, you got a line of people that get paid to manage free money. How are you paying somebody to manage free money? So I donate money, and all my money is not going to the charity. My money is going to breaking down into people's salaries and people's, that's insane. That's just insane. That's why I don't give to charities. I feel like if I got to give somebody something, it'll be somebody I can see, somebody I can touch, somebody I can know that I'm affecting their life by the things I'm giving them, not the other way around. You know, I love being able to be sitting in my yard and up under my tree and walk up and down my neighborhood. You don't hear no loud noise, no none of that. But you pay and work hard to make sure you don't have to live in them type of situations. You know, and man, people don't want to hear the truth when you sitting there telling them, man, look, the writing's on the wall. I've been telling people for the last 4 or 5 months that they were going to release the National Guard Army into the cities because too many people were dying, too many people getting shot, too many innocent people. They don't care if there's a lot of children, there's gang members out there killing each other, but they look at it like they eliminating and saving them problems. But when them same people out there victimizing people that ain't got nothing to do with the things that they got going on, that's when the headlight starts shining, man. You know, and I've been shining light on Chicago and Memphis for a long time because as a black man, you never want to see the extinction of your culture, of your ethnic background be tarnished by a whole bunch of nutting individuals, and then them people start speaking in general when they talk about black people. You should never ever characterize a group of people by one individual. Never that, you know, because when I was growing, I was one of them people that grew up with a lot of racist people around me because they were taught to be racist towards other people and didn't even know why. You know, but I tell you, all the people in my life that ever done anything to me that hurt me or penalized me been people of all colors. You know what I mean? People don't understand that human beings are at that point where they are. You know, people don't understand that life is one of them situations that everybody got to go through different patterns and different, situations to make it to the end of what you would call the end. But ain't nobody gonna sit around and let no child in these streets take their life. I know I'm not. You know, and I'm all with reform and with helping people because I believe people can change. Because look at me, I changed. You know, I became a person different than who I was as a child and matured into an adult. You know, and some things I'm still gathering and learning how to be a better human being every day that I'm waking up and living because I know God blessed me with that. You know, He blessed me with a way to wake up and to reach out to people, talk to people. People want to hear about ordinary life and what's gonna make you successful in life. They don't want to see the bullshit. You ain't gonna be a successful drug dealer, man. You ain't gonna be no successful hitman. You ain't gonna be, people don't understand that these folks out here in this world, if you out here selling dope in the streets, that shit a rap. Because these folks doing what they was doing a long time ago with a lot of cartel members and Mexicans and shit. When they caught them folk with 30, 40 bricks, they didn't send them to jail. They told them, look, go get us somebody else with 60 bricks, and we're going to let you go because they figured that they going to catch them again. You know, but now they doing everybody like that. They doing the black, the white, the Mexican, the Asian. These folks out here getting popped. Your homeboys, your cousins, your sisters, these folks getting popped. And they point to the next motherfucker like, here you tag you in type shit, man. That shit ain't real. You know,
No, you got to realize
that we are in a world that technology on took over to where people can watch you 24/7, 7 days a week, even if you ain't live. You ain't got to be live. You could be walking past somebody live on their phone, and they be you and they live, and somebody know where you at. It don't get to the point where you can't be private nowhere. You can go on a private island. If them folks don't ban cell phones and tablets and technology, you ain't gonna be alone. You ain't gonna have a private moment. You know, I don't see more people by accident in people's lives, and they probably didn't even know they was in somebody's life.
people at restaurants.
Restaurants, bars, and shit cheating on their wives, their husbands, and somebody live, and next thing you know, that motherfucker see that shit, man. You ain't no privacy no more. It ain't no privacy in America no more.